Hello, SJW Africa here. Welcome to my channel. And if this is your first time, reach out for the subscribe button so YouTube can push this message to people on the African continent. Thanks for stopping by again. And I want to know, is the governing body of the Jehovah's Witnesses ashamed to identify with Jehovah's Witnesses in Africa? The reason why I say this is because when I see the propaganda videos of the Jehovah's Witnesses being pushed out, you seldom would see Africans or the African continent featured in it. I've forgotten some of the names of this video, but I remember the prodigal son and some other this one they try to discourage what is it again, they discourage sports entertainment and stuff like that. There's character Andre in the film. Now, one thing I noticed while I was Jehovah's Witness, I used to bring this up with my siblings and say, man, then I would just unconsciously say or joke about it, not that I really thought the governing body was up to something. I would say, man, come on, man, why is it that um society will put up these images of the Western world in these videos? Oh no, why is it that we can't get a slice of the poverty in Africa in this propaganda film or whatever you call them? So I just joke about it. But now I see it after um, exiting from the court. I now have seen the reason why, or have I seen the reason why? I just now have known that Jehovah's Witnesses or the governing body, I always wanted to see that gloss a part of their uh, organization or literature. You see, um, in the prodigal son, why David was being discouraged from pursuing some kind of secular job and take to pioneering and be proud of the baker's uh, family business. One thing that struck me in that video was during one of this breakfast section of the family. Now I see this gorgeous apartment that these guys were in, and I begin to wonder, with if you are gonna listen to society to pay attention to pioneering and just get minimal education and a job just to get by, where do you get this kind of apartment from? How are you gonna earn this, live large like this? Great apartment, gorgeous meal, name it. I say, well, if I live in this kind of apartment, or if I'm gonna be sure of a life like this, okay, I'm gonna pioneer. What's the big deal, But they um would select these images and make it appear as though Jehovah's Witnesses is just like every other person, and they possess what every other person does possess. And let's say it might be like that in the Western world. Why don't they feature the crippling poverty in Africa? Like when I was growing up, the kind of poverty I live in and the one I have witnessed around here. That brothers are devastated by unimaginable poverty, and some that have left businesses, some that have decided to stop ventures that would have fed them something to live a better life. They just gave it up for the organization. My dad died like an animal. I'm not ashamed to say it like that. He gave his life up, he gave his scholarship up, he gave his everything up, everything good, he gave it up for the organization. And when the organization needed him, or when he needed the organization, they failed him. There was no one there for him. He just died like that. He. Just his memory right now. So it brings to the fore that the governing body just uh, sees Africa as a toilet paper that they can really use, toss away, exploit Africa. Nothing, perhaps maybe there's not enough contribution coming from here. They know what is going on here. So um, the representation of the organization is always the United States, I guess. That's their propaganda movies. You see a movie talking about Jehovah's Witnesses. You see a Jehovah's Witness riding on the latest SUV, sports vehicle, sports car and all that in some of these movies. Gorgeous apartment. I had always worried, but none is featured. None of the poverty in Africa here. You can see it so that the world would know, okay, these are struggling Africans and still taking um, steps to defy the odds and stick to Jehovah in your service. They don't feature that. There was this elder, very good friend of mine before I woke up, before I was this fellowship. Uh, Great guy, very hardcore Jehovah's Witness. Actually thinks he's doing the right thing. Reached out to me even after I was disfellowshipped, and he wanted me to come back. But I remember when I was uh uh okay before I continue this uh uh experience of this elder brother, I'd like you to check a few clips of the life that the governing body features in their propaganda films. Just look at those apartments and see if you don't get a good education, you don't have a good job, if you can earn something like that. I'll be right back after this.
Are you really going to let him just quit in the middle of all this work?
Well, I guess there's no sense in worrying about what hasn't happened yet. Besides, it's not like I can force him, or you for that matter, to work for me.
Dad, I want to work with you.
I appreciate that, son. Well, let's do our daily text.
Honey, you're not staying for breakfast?
No, I can't.
Here, John, the Crawfords accepted your bid.
Okay.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, David, you're not eating with us?
No, I gotta go.
But breakfast is almost ready.
David, I'd sure like to talk with you before you go.
Yeah, why don't you join us for a while? We can talk about things like, the weather.
Let's see. Practice, tests. Aren't you leaving something out? What about all the time you spend going to those meetings?
But you said it was okay for me to go.
If
If it didn't interfere with school.
right.
Honey, I don't think that going to the Kingdom Hall is the problem.
No, Dad, it's just that Coach Clark has stepped up our training.
Andre, if you try to do it all, something's going to suffer.
Chicken looks great, Mom.
Andre, don't you owe me an explanation?
I'm sorry, Mom. Practice just ran late.
Again?
Well, like Dad says, practice makes perfect.
Do they have to work you so hard? You barely have time for anything else.
Like that talk you had this week.
Welcome. So, in those clips, those guys, what do they want? If life was like that for every Jehovah's Witness, there won't be this outcry. Jehovah's Witnesses don't live the kind of life you see there. In the footages you just saw, I hope you picked up a few indoctrination from the clips, but that was not the reason for the video. But it's always one indoctrination section after the other. If a Jehovah's Witness live that kind of life here, I want to say, if you pay attention to wash your garbage, there are Jehovah's Witnesses who live that kind of life even in Africa, but majority are in abject poverty. And those that are living the good life, if you look at them very well, they aren't living by the prescription of the organization really. You'll see that there was one elder who was even a permanent secretary to a state governor. You will see some who got higher education, or some whose parents left them some inheritance. You see some who don't pay attention to wash your crap about not going for further education and all that. If you look at a Jehovah's Witness that is really living the life, the house, the car, the whatnot, look at that person closely and see if he's living by the prescription of the organization. Not necessarily. Far from it. Skipping jobs to go to the assemblies and skipping jobs to go to the assemblies will earn you any of these things. How they were society it's about sowing seeds of poverty in Jehovah's Witnesses' lives. That's basically what it is. And in sad that the governing body are ashamed to identify with the poverty in Africa, the African settings. If they are not ashamed of it, they would feature these things in their propaganda video. But they don't want people to look at the organization through the lenses of those on the African continent. They they like people to uh, look at their organization through the lenses of Hollywood. Now, Hollywood, that's what this guy's put out right there. Hollywood. Come on, man. So to continue that story of that elder, he I haven't seen that kind of poverty before. I was in field service and I paid him a visit. I was new to the congregation. I got to his apartment and I was looking for his apartment. I did not know that this brother was living um, close to a toilet or a bathroom. In Africa, uh, most people have their bathroom or toilet uh, away from the main house, all right, because they can't afford the sanitation and water and all sort of things. Those who are really below at that level, no, in rented one room apartments, you have the house, you have the toilet and the bathroom away from the main house, and most times this bathroom and toilets don't even have a roof, an open bathroom or open toilet. But if your status is a little bit higher, you could have a roof on the toilet. Or so there were these lines of a bathroom. Give me a second. It's like someone is at the door. I'll be back. Oh, sorry. I just needed to attend to something. So this brother had serious accommodation problem that she had to take and one of the bathrooms outside. That's just I don't know, in a square form, a door, a door without a window. I think, and what try and get what I'm saying. Let's say we got one, two, three, four bathrooms, and one of the bathrooms was converted into a living room. That was where this elder brother and his family were staying. That was where they were living. So when I got there, what I saw was horror. I said, I can. It's just like a pig house, a pig's house. A dog would not live in that kind of place. You know, in Africa here, dogs sometimes are kept away, or let me not say use the dog. Let me not let me just use yeah, the animal pig. Wouldn't A pig would not, you wouldn't like put a pig there, but a brother and his wife, an elder, was living there, and I called one of the elders and say, wow, did you see that? Is this where this brother's living and nothing has been done about it? How can people be proud of a God that allows a servant to be in this kind of situation? This is a shame. This is a disgrace that you elders, that one of you lives here. So I started, I talked about it with the elders, and they were trying to make a move there, and see if they could secure him a better accommodation. I think that was when things started to go downtown for me, the period started waking up, my marriage to my ex-wife and all of that. So I didn't really know how it turned out. But in one of our conversation, the elder had told me how he rejected um, a kind of job given to people from oil producing area. So if you are from a certain area that produces oil, the government would give certain what's it called now? a privilege to work with some oil companies, or you're allocated, you're given a job that has to do with the oil sector, and youths in that community usually agitate for it and say this is our land, so we're going to have to be part of whatever exploration you do here. So because of this agitation, you see that sometimes it results in violence. So, and this brother told me that he asked the brother if it was right for him to be part of those that would benefit from the government's intervention, and they said he couldn't because those people agitating for this, they're called militants, that is a violent setting, and some crap like that. This wasn't even the situation. If it were the situation, he's not out there carrying arms. He could have just got a job and benefited from him. And the person who, one of the elders that must have sat on that case, ironically, would design a billboard for a church, whereas this guy who had nothing had to submit to the elders to ask if he could do this or that. So the essence of this video is to highlight that the governing body actually do not identify with Africans. Africans are disposable as far as this organization is concerned. All right, man, you guys should wake up. People here would say, make una shine una eyes. When we say shine your eyes, it means you gotta open your eyes. Those of you on the African continent, that put on your thinking cap. This is not a religion that cares about you. This is not a religion that even cares about Africans. They are ashamed to identify with Africans. It's all about Hollywood style they want the world to see. SJW Africa here, and that'll be all for me in this video, and I'll be seeing you pretty soon.